night, a child steps into a house
where time
itself has stopped. A black pool that swallows reflections. A woman who whispers warnings.
A little girl
waiting in the back seat.
And a
house that hides a disturbing secret.
Welcome to Paranormal Confessions. Tonight's story returns to a childhood scar, a storm, a house, and a memory that refuses to fade. Listen closely. Every detail matters. Thank you for joining us. Who were you then, and what do you remember most clearly?
I was 6 years old, too young to keep details, yet they never left. The storm came like nothing I'd known. The sound above our house wasn't just wind, it was a train engine tearing the sky apart. Windows shook, the air howled. My mother prayed into my hair. Please, God, protect us. She held me so tight I could barely breathe. Even at 6, I knew she was more afraid than I was.
What did the world look like when it finally passed?
Morning showed a different town. The playground I loved flattened. A boat hurled across the street crushed our fence. The air reeked of gas and ash. Down the road, a man died when his house exploded. That's when I learned houses can die too.
After the storm, you had to find a new place. Tell us about the day you first saw the house.
We borrowed my stepfather's SUV. Seats still smelled like smoke. I had a lunchbox of soggy nuggets and a bag of chips I begged for. We climbed a long hill and there it was. 2 stories, dark wood sagging, a detached garage half collapsed, a torn hole in the roof like a claw mark. The moment I stepped out, everything stopped. No birds, no wind, no leaf moved. Silence pressed into my ears until it hurt. Inside my chest bloomed a single word: wrong. I tried stepping forward, but my feet refused. Cold wrapped me, not weather cold, but dead stillness, as if time forgot to breathe.
Did it remind you of the storm?
Yes, only quieter and crueler. That storm felt alive. This house felt born from it. I rounded the back and found a pool. The water wasn't water, it was ink, flat, black, refusing reflections. As I leaned closer, the blackness leaned back. A woman stepped from the trees, dress white, fading into blue, hair heavy with wet. Her eyes were kind, too kind, her skin ice. "You must not go inside," she whispered. "Not you, not her. This house doesn't want the living." Then she bent close. "I'll bring you someone to play with." I blinked, and I was back in the SUV. The seat beside me was buckled. A girl sat there. Blonde hair, blue eyes, skin almost glowing. She smiled too wide, like someone practicing a smile.
Did she speak?
Not at first. Her hands stayed folded on her lap. Then a tiny laugh, like a toy winding down. My mother's voice cut through the silence. I begged her to leave. She looked where I pointed. The seat was empty, but the belt was still locked.
Did you ever learn who they were?
Years later, I searched old microfilm at the library. An article about a gas line failure. A mother and daughter. The child's name was smudged. Only 2 letters remained, L and A. I traced them. The room grew colder. Mr. Whisper, interviewer, curiousy. Did you try recording anything? Guest, confessor, steady. I returned with a cheap handheld recorder and sat in the SUV. Pressure built in my ears. Not safe. A small, careful hand pressed my shoulder.
Years later, you went back. Why?
Debt. I needed to look. At 19, I drove the same road. The trees were thicker. The air felt the same. The house stood thinner, older. Paper taped across windows, a crooked for sale sign. When I stepped out, time slowed. My heartbeat sounded too loud. Inside smelled of wet wood and metal. Wallpaper peeled in strips. The dining table bore a charred stripe. Footprint shapes of old furniture lingered in dust. Every room waited for me to notice something I shouldn't.
And the dreams?
They never left. In each dream, the pool is black, lights flicker inside, and when I approach the door, the woman's arms cinch my waist and pull me back. Not for the living. One night on the highway, the passenger belt pulled tight by itself. Streetlights stuttered. The radio hissed. I whispered, "You're safe. We will wait." "Thank you." Relief and grief arrived together, and I cried.
Do you carry guilt for surviving when others didn't?
Yes, survival is a debt you pay with memory. When you can't say a name, you speak a promise. That's why I warned a friend when I brought him there. He laughed, but atop the hill the silence fell and his ears rang. Through a window he swore he saw a girl in my SUV's back seat. While we stood 20 feet away, we left without words. On the drive down, both our phones showed the wrong time, the exact minute of the explosion from the article. Another day I stood alone at the threshold. The wood had a pulse under my palm, like a throat. The house inhaled when I did, and paused when I paused. A shadow crossed the hall, more fold than figure. Metal cold filled my mouth. "I'll keep the door closed for you," I whispered. From inside, one knock. Not yes, not no, just heard. At the end of the hall, a door I hadn't seen. I opened it, and she stood there, white and blue dress, hands folded, eyes calm. "You came back," she said. "You grew, but you came back." I asked who she was. She didn't answer. "I begged you to stay out because you were the only one who listened." The air filled with the smell of gas. We were tired. We slept. The house woke up before we did. Through the floorboards, fire glowed. Seatbelt clicks tight. A buckle sound, then the smallest breath. Childlike whisper, very faint. Waiting. I asked, "Where is your daughter?" "In the car," she said. "Always in the car. Always buckled, waiting to be told it's safe." "It isn't apology that helps," she added. "It's remembering. Memory keeps us from drowning." Her cold hand covered my eyes, pool black as ink, fire reflected, a child practicing a smile. I built a small memorial at the base of the hill, a flat stone with 2 shallow letters, L and A, and a blue ribbon tied to a nail. Sometimes I sit in the SUV and buckle the empty seat beside me. "I remember you," I whisper. "I'll keep the door closed." The silence exhales.
Some ghosts cling to places, some cling to gestures. A belt clicked shut, a ribbon dark with rain, a promise kept in the dark. Every room has a story, and some stories refuse to fade. Have you lived through something you can't explain? Tell us in the comments. Your memory may keep another door closed. Thank you for listening to Paranormal Confessions. For full episodes and exclusive content, join us on Patreon, patreon.com/whispersfrombeyond.